Right, now for the exciting part, which is posting and advertising your page and starting to make some money now that we've set up everything. So let's just discuss the advertising part a little bit. Now, for you to be charged the least amount of money, you need to have likes on your page, and you can get likes by boosting posts or buying traffic, basically, which I'm going to be showing you in the next few minutes. So I'm going to create a comment. So I'm just going to copy and paste my comment. So learn how to make, I'm actually going to capitalize it because it gets more, how to make, it gets more, it just stands out more, it just pops out. Income, more passive income every week on autopilot. This was a strategy that I used, which proved to be very, very successful, which is drop your WhatsApp number in the comments below, and I will mentor you, or WhatsApp me on my number. And this has proven to be extremely powerful. And then put a picture. You can put pictures, you can put videos. So let's just put one of my pictures, one that I know works very well. And you'll need to, let's try to find it, there it is. Okay. And this is a trial and error thing. You need to be split testing different adverts, different pictures, different headlines, different content in your mail, in your advert, to see what's working and what's not working, and try better your results every time. The whole point of this is to increase the amount of clicks, and obviously those clicks need to result in opt-ins, and those opt-ins need to result in sales. So what I do need to do is I need to also drop in, which I almost forgot, was my my opt-in page. So click this link to find out more, and then there's my URL. Okay, and then I can publish. Okay, and I can also boost my post, which I'm going to talk about in the next two minutes. Right, so there's my post. Okay, so let's just get rid of these things. So there's my post. Boost your post to reach more of the people who matter to you. Click here to get started. So you need to be starting off with a very small budget, let's say $5 to $10 per day. Don't go big. The worst thing to do is to actually spend all your money and then you've got no money left over for the month because you didn't advertise responsibly. So rather take a small budget, and you can scale it up later and spend more money once you know what's working and what's not working. When you create your picture, make sure that there is probably about an 80 to 20%, 80% picture, 20% text. Facebook doesn't like your adverts to have too much text on the picture. That's just one of their conditions. So make sure you can't have just a picture with words, click here now, or buy this, or amazing offer, or something like that. It's got to be a picture and mostly picture and mostly graphic, and then a small amount of wording. So I would start off with, let's say, your total budget of 10 Rand. And you want to do it for 1 day, and obviously your payment needs to be filled in, but you need to create an audience, and this is the key to success in Facebook marketing. Okay, this is where you need to know your avatar, and what that means basically is you need to know exactly your target market, your audience that you're trying to attract to your business. So if you need to know where your audience is hanging out. So and if I would say you need to start with the target market in your country. So let's say all men and women You need to figure out what the age is, so what your age group is. Let's say you're targeting people of 30 to 35. Let's use mine, for example, what I'm trying to attract in my business. So I'm selling an investment program, and it's got a network marketing spin to it. So I'm just going to put here, this is my audience. I'm calling it MLM, and I'm going to call it the month, July 2017, and I'm going to say 30 to 65. That's my age group that I want to target. I don't want to deal with students that don't have money, and I want people to be in life already. I know that youngsters also, they're highly motivated, they want to progress, but they don't have the money to invest usually. So that's not what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm trying to achieve people that are that have got money, that have got a life, that have got responsibilities, they're hungry, and they want to make money. So my target market is 30 to 65. I'm going to do it in the whole of South Africa. So let's put here South Africa. Let's wait for it to come up. So choose the country. So I want the entire South Africa. And the demographics, so they can suggest demographics: health, wellness, fitness, small business owners, engaged shoppers, buyers in house. Okay, so it's actually, so they will suggest stuff for you. So I know exactly what I want. I want network marketing. That's what I want, and it'll give you all the different suggestions. So highlight this, because once you click it, it goes away, as you can see. So wait for it to come up, click it, it goes away, and you can press suggestions again, and then you can start clicking. You can start clicking away at the various different topics. So network marketing, I would click all of these, every single one of them: Herbalife, entrepreneurship, network marketing pro, all these topics. I would include in my audience, because that's where my demographic is hanging out. They're hanging out in those groups. That's what these are. These are groups. That's why I say that Facebook has got the biggest database in the world, and it's not just the biggest; it's the most segmented, because people are belonging to groups. So they subscribe to pages, they subscribe to groups. They want that. Those are their interests. So let me show you what I mean by these groups, etc. So if I go onto my Facebook, into the search bar here, and I type in Bitcoin, it's going to bring up a whole lot of information for me of exactly who's in what pages, and I'm interested in pages and groups. So as you can see here, in Bitcoin, there are 188,000 people that have liked this page called Bitcoin. That is my demographic. Now, out of those 188,000 people, a portion of them will be South African, and that's who I'm targeting. I'm targeting people of the age of 30 to 65 from South Africa that have liked pages like Bitcoin, like there's another one, 37,000 people, 41,000, 42,000. All these people, okay, they all like Bitcoin, and that is my demographic. So I want to target that type of person, and that's why I like to use Facebook as my advertising medium, because it's segmented and it is so refined. So I mean, if we were going to put in here, let's say network marketing, okay, and we press enter, now you can get an idea. Okay, so direct sales network, and this is great, because when you go to this page, you can also pick up different words to use in your audience, to find different types of audiences. But that's a small group, 432 people. But I mean, if you just used direct sales, for instance, I'll copy it, we'll go back there now and go check it out. But there's 1,500, 12,000 people. There must be other ones. Bitcoin earnings, 6,000 people. Network opportunities, 13,000, 15,000, and there's South Africans in all these groups, which is awesome. So I mean, from this you can get an idea of like what words to use and to look for, and also it gives you when you enter it, it gives you different words that you could use as well. So here's some more suggestions. So the more wide you're looking with regards to your words. So look for different words, check what people are using to name their groups, and go and search for those in your marketing, in your audience, so that you can find the exact avatar that you're trying to attract in your business. Health and wellness, not for me. So, and the reason it's saying that is because of Herbalife. Herbalife is a health and wellness product. Forever Living is a health and wellness product. But there's also network marketers in there, and that's who I'm trying to attract. Another one for me would be Bitcoin. People that are involved in Bitcoin, okay, because most Bitcoin companies are involved in network marketing. So what I'm trying to achieve here is I'm not just trying to sell my product, I'm trying to find builders, people that are going to help me build my network marketing company as well. So, let's say you were selling, let's say tennis, okay, you were selling an ebook on tennis. So let's go and have a look at that. Let's just minus that, and let's say, where would they hang out? Tennis, and let's see what comes up. Okay, so there's lots. Table tennis, tennis court, tennis balls. So all these people are involved in tennis. So if you were selling a gardening product, let's say you were selling, you were doing gardening service, community and social services, food preparation. So let's say gardening. Okay, so here it is, gardening, and here's people that are interested in gardening, landscape. So let's say you were let's make it more refined, more niche to what you're doing. Let's say you were concentrating on growing vegetables, okay, and we wait for it to come up. Vegetables. So here it is, bird's eye vegetable, Dole fresh vegetables. So these are all people interested in vegetables, okay, and the different aspect of vegetables. I don't know what that is. Vegetable carving, vegetable farming, yams, nasal polyp, vegetable juice plant. Okay, so all these people. So whatever business you're in, okay, you need to work out exactly what your target market is, exactly who you're trying to sell to, where they hang out, what groups they would be in. So if you were selling the financial, let's say you were selling Forex, maybe investing, okay, let's see what comes up. Investing online. All these people are involved in investing. So what will happen is at the bottom here, you can see here how many people you're targeting. And where it says fairly broad, it just means that you're targeting a larger amount of people. I would rather target a smaller amount of people, make it very niched, and know that that's the correct people that you're trying to target. No point just selecting anybody at random, because when you try and target everybody, you sell to no one. It's as simple as that. So you need to target, you need to sell to the right demographic, the right audience, at the right age group, the right gender, all of that you need to think about very, very carefully. And this is something that you need to spend some time really thinking about. Think about what you're trying to achieve here, and who are your customers. Don't target everybody. It's just the wrong way to do it. So let's just save. Okay, and there's my demographic. I can edit it at any time. Okay, I can add to it, and I can change it. I can create new demographics. I can create new people. So let's just stick on the MLM, that audience. I'm targeting with my budget 180 to 460 people only. From that, I can then do the mathematics. So out of let's say 400 people see it, let's say 100 people see it, and 10 people click on the link and they sign up. That means I've got a 10% click through and opt-in ratio, which is quite good. Anything between 20, more than 10%, you're on the right track. Anything less than 10%, you're doing something wrong. You need to change your advert. You need to find something that is working a little bit better And that's why you need to be using the A/B split testing, different adverts to see what's working, what's not. But when you do the split testing, the only way to do that is to have two different landing pages. You cannot have, wouldn't do it on the same on the same page, because you won't know where the traffic's coming from. So you need to set up two different pages, one and then with two different pixels to tell you exactly like where the traffic's coming from and how many opt-ins you're getting. Okay, so I'm not going to boost this post. It's just not necessary. I'll do a live one with you guys and a webinar with you to show you exactly how I do it and how to tweak it and how to optimize it to its fullest. So that's how you create your boost. And so let me cancel the boost, cancel promotion, because I'm not going to be promoting. And this is how you create an advert. So over here, you click on the little down arrow, and it says create adverts. And here you can do various different types of adverts, which is quite exciting. Great. So what we're trying to do is you need to choose an advert that best suits the objective that you're trying to achieve here. So you've got traffic generation, you've got engagement, you've got apps, you've got videos, video views, and you've got lead generation. This is a very interesting one over here. So how this advertising works is it works on a pay-per-click system. So when somebody clicks on your advert, you would pay Facebook, okay, and they would tell you exactly what the price is that you need to pay. So let's just choose traffic for the moment, and then you do create split test. This is where you can create two different adverts. So let's just call it, we don't want to call it traffic, we want to call it how to make passive income online July campaign A. We can set up the advert. And country, account country, we want to put here your country, obviously. So let's just put, where do we live? We live in South Africa. The currency is in Rand. The time zone is Africa, Johannesburg. So traffic, choose where you want to drive traffic. You'll enter a destination such as a URL later. And that will be the opt-in page, obviously. Remember, everything needs to go to your opt-in page. You don't want to send people directly to your website. So on your opt-in page, to get people to opt in, video works extremely well. And I would have a video telling people what you do, how you're going to benefit them, how you're going to solve their pain, and then next to your video you have the opt-in information telling people to log in, or to sign up rather. So now that we've named our campaign, we can just name the advert set. So let's just call it 30-65. 30-65 ad A. This is for your reference. And drive more traffic by creating an offer that people can save and get reminders about. Just leave that off. And here's where you can get your audience. Okay, so everyone in this location. So not in the United States, definitely not. So we want to target people in our in our country. Target people in your country first. You speak the language. So they can phone you. They know that you're real. Start getting traction in your business, so that in testimonials. Once your website or your Facebook page starts to get busy and there's lots of likes and there's testimonials and stuff is happening, then you can go global, because in South Africa they can phone you. That's how you get your testimonials. Once you've got testimonials, then you can go a little bit try different countries, and you try one country at a time. Don't try multiple countries. You need to know what's happening. So let's change the age groups. It's exactly the same as the boost. So we're going to do 30 to 65, all men and women. I put here English, and you know what? I wouldn't actually put anything. They can speak any language. If they can read English, they'll click on it. If they speak English, they'll click on it. If they don't speak English, they don't understand what it is, they won't click on it. So add demographic here. So here we can put MLM, and again, you need to copy it, because when you let go, it's going to disappear. So click on it again and make suggestions, and here are the different ones that you can choose from. So you just start clicking away, click every single one of them. Sorry, suggestions. Click every single one that makes sense to you. They're all different. They're spelled differently. They're all different groups. So Network Marketing Pro, that's a group. It's Eric War. Multi-level networking, networking professional, and then you can get there. You can go investing, investments, investing. Just to give you an idea, maybe Bitcoin. We'll do some Bitcoin. We can do HYRP, which is High Yield Investment Program. There it is. We can do, who else can we target that I can think of? Oh, yes, small business, small businesses. What about work at home? What about work at home? There we go, work at home. What about work at home parent, work at home mom? What about home business? Home business. There's another one. So, click all of them, and as you can see, my audience is getting bigger and bigger, but it is becoming more specific. Okay, so it doesn't matter how big it is, it needs to be specific. That's the main thing here. Okay, add a connection type. So it's just Facebook pages, people who like pages. People who like pages, exclude people who like your page. So you don't want to advertise to people who have already advertised or liked your page before. So you want people who like your page, friends of people who like your page. I wouldn't do that. They might not be interested in network marketing. Exclude people who like your page, and you can say that we did say that. Exclude people who like your page. So I want everybody, but within my audience. That's what I want. You can also browse, which means that you can browse by demographic. Okay, education, generation. So baby boomers, Generation X, millennials. You can go by home, household composition. So it's very, very targeted. This life events, parents, politics, relationships, work, where they work. So you can do it by job title. So we can put there CEOs. You only want to target CEOs. You only want to target, let's say, browse. We want to target. Let's go again. Demographic, work, job titles. Let's say we only want financial directors. Okay, only financial director. Those are the title. There's 3,546 people in South Africa that have the title of financial director. That is extremely targeted. That is amazing. Okay, so you can also target by, just want to find it, you can upload a list. So let's say you have an email list of, let's say, financial directors or whatever. You could upload that, and Facebook would then connect that audience to you. So narrow audience must also match at least one of the following. So I don't know, they must match. So your audience must match a specific field. Okay, so you can save this audience. So we can save this audience as well. So we can call this MLM1 and financial directors and CEO. So now I know exactly what this demographic is, so that when I create a new advert, I can then choose that advert. So when I come here, it says here, use the saved audience, and there it is. There's the one that we created through our boost, and there's the one that we created through our Facebook adverts. So we've got two different audiences, which is great. Okay. So automatic placement, your adverts will automatically be shown to your audience in the places where they're likely to perform best for this objective. Placements may include Facebook, Instagram, and audience network. Okay, edit placements, you can choose where you want to place them, just leave it at that. So I would like, you know, do it on 50 to 100 Rand a day. I would say 100 Rand a day, and then it says here a week show advanced options. We want it on links clicked, enter a bid bias. Now this is very important. So here it's saying to you that the suggested bid is 7.98. You need to bid 10% more than the suggested bid. That means your advert gets Facebook then regards you as a serious advertiser and will show your advert more often. It doesn't mean that you're going to be charged 7 Rand 98. I usually get charged on my adverts about 10 US cents per click, which is like, that is just amazing. It's about a Rand, 1 Rand per click. I've worked it out at about 3 to 4 Rand per subscriber that enters into my opt-in list, I'm happy to pay 3 Rand per person that comes into my database. You know, some of the financial companies out there that sell credit cards and insurance, they pay up to 1,200 to 2,000 Rand per lead. That's what they would pay. So to pay 3 Rand per lead, worth every penny. So I would add here on the budget, I would add 8 Rand and 10 cents. Make it 8 Rand 80. That's the 10 cents. 10% approximately. You're not going to get charged 8 Rand 80 per click, so don't worry about it. And when are you charged per impression? Nope, we want to be charged per click, per link click. So it's going to do it as when you charge per impression. That means when they click the link, that's the impression. Advert scheduling, run adverts on a schedule, so you can do that when you want. And you've put your links clicked, so that's when you're going to get clicked. If you put it on impressions, then obviously it'll be an impression, so you don't have to worry about that. A delivery type, show your advert throughout your selected schedule, so you can accelerate it, show your adverts as quickly as possible. So Facebook will determine when your adverts need to be sent. They'll make up that schedule. So it'll also be based on your click-through rate. So if your click-through rate, that means how many people have clicked your advert as opposed to how many people have seen your advert. So the more people that see your advert, so if your ratio is like 50% of the people that saw your advert have clicked, then Facebook will see that advert is working, and they will start showing your advert more regular, more often, so that you can get more traction. Great. So connect to Facebook page. Your business is represented in adverts by its Facebook page. So you can choose here. So if you had different pages, then it'll ask you which page you want this advert to show for. So we want it to show for that page. This Facebook page will represent your business. On Instagram adverts, where you can add an Instagram account. Facebook owns Instagram, so that's why they're asking you that question. It's just more exposure for you. Now the carousel means that there you can have you can have videos or images. Create up to 6 adverts with 1 image, and at no extra charge. So we want a single image. That's what we want. Or you can create an advert with 2 or more scrollable images or videos. Okay, so that means that on your advert, if there's 2 images, the person can actually click and see like what those images are. So you could have words on each of those images. Let's say a story. So two images with wording and a story, basically. Full screen experience. Don't have to worry about that. And this is where you're going to create your advert. So let's create the advert. I'll just pause the video and copy and paste it. Okay, so there's my advert, and as you can see, this is exactly how it appears. And then I can upload my pictures. So here are my images, so I can select my images. So let's go to, is there an image library? Yes, there is. So it's too big. So let's upload another image. Drag and drop multiple images, or click the upload button. So let's just click on the upload button. Wonder if it's going to work. Image is too small. Upload image. So it says that the image size that it needs to be 1080 by 1080. So let me resize my advert, and I'm going to upload it. Right, so now that I've uploaded my picture in the correct size, the 1080 by 1080, I can confirm, and it'll appear over here in the right hand side. So save your advert and preview it on your device. And then over here you can put your headline. So it's updating on the right hand side. We can put here make passive income. So this is your headline. I'll show you where it's going to be. There it is. So there's the headline, and it'll populate in a few minutes. Description, passive income, and this is where you put your URL. So that would be the URL for your opt-in page. Don't forget that. See more. Enter the URL that will be displayed in your end card. So just fill that in as well. Call to action. So this is if you were buying something, sign up now, blah blah blah. Just don't worry about that unless you want to add it, of course. See more display link. You don't need to worry about anything else there. The URL parameters. So this is if you were split testing. I would leave that alone. And your pixel tracking, I mentioned that earlier. So basically what this does is you install one pixel on your opt-in page. Now when somebody clicks onto your opt-in page or onto your, after they subscribe and they go to, I don't know, your video, if that's what's after your opt-in page, that's what's on my opt-in page. So once somebody fills in the details, they hit the subscribe button, they're taken to the exiting page, which is the video page. When they hit the video page, I can track where those people are coming from with a pixel. So I would install this pixel. It's a little bit of code that I install on my website. You don't have to be a web designer to know how to do this. It's very simple. Or you can get your web designer to do this for you. Just tell him that you need to install a pixel. He'll ask you for the information, and you would just click this link over here, and you could say 1 pixel per advert account, and you would say next, and here is the code. So Facebook will create that code for you, and there it is. You can set up now, or you can continue. So you just set up your pixel, and then you can copy and paste the URL. Okay, install this pixel code, and it tells you exactly what to do. Here you would just copy the code, you would send that to your web developer, he will install it in the right place, and you're done. It's very, very simple, or you can do it yourself if you know how. So I've already done mine on my existing Facebook account, so I'm not going to do that. Your ads reach might be slightly lower, and then you can place your order. So once you're happy, what will happen is I'm just going to place my order to show you what's going to happen, and then Facebook will then review your advert. Now they'll either pass it or they won't pass it. And if they don't pass it, then they'll tell you why your advert hasn't been passed. It will say there too much text to image, of which you have to change your advert. You have to change your picture, put less wording in, or make the wording smaller so that it passes Facebook's rules. So obviously it's asking for my credit card details, so I'm not going to enter my credit card details. I will show you another video on the results of my adverts, and that is where the exciting part is. That's the money part. So let's end off this video, and we'll go on to the next one.